Okay, well, good morning, people. My name is Lyle Chase. I'm the father of this magnificent flying machine. It started off as a little bit of a joke, really, particularly when some of my best buddies said, well, you're crazy. Anyway, I built it. What you're looking at here is the third iteration of it. The first one, the platform here was the same, but I sat up here, not so good. The second one, I put a bucket down here, a big tote basket, and sat in that. That didn't look so good either. So this is the third iteration. It is has in fact been flown several times, including once with me in it. But what I'm doing this morning, what we're doing this morning, is to get it up and running again, take some videos and pictures of it, and make a semi-serious attempt, which is about all I ever do anyway, is semi-serious, to market it. So if anybody sees it and loves it and would like to buy it, please do. Okay, so this unit has 8 power pods on it, and each power pod is a separate entity except for the flight controller, this thing here. And it consists of a 5 amp 50 volt battery pack. The next thing that's in this unit is something I put in here for my own peace of mind, and that's a relay which conducts the power through to the speed controller, which controls the speed of the motor. And each one of these is separate. The idea of the relay is that I can push a button on my transmitter and cut the power to the motor, so the motors stop, boom, but the electronics don't. And other than that, you've about seen it. A few other numbers on it. It's 7 feet from the end of the spar to the end of that spar, so 7 feet in each direction. It's square. The motors are Rototex 160 key RPM per volt, and the propellers are 30-inch by 5.5 pitch, and they're carbon fiber, as you can see. So the things are pretty solid. The other thing that I think is unique about this is that there are no holes in the spars. Everything is clamped together, which means 2 things. They're not weakened by holes or welds, and if a person is of a mind, he can take it apart. All of these clamps come off, these clamps come off, so the whole thing virtually comes apart and can lay flat. And the exception to that is a few pop rivets down there, which could be drilled out and replaced by bolts, but I didn't bother. The other thing about it is this platform down here, which is interchangeable with a seat. At the moment I have a pair of boxes on it which I'm going to put ballast into, in the form of barbells, lead weights, whatever I can get my hands on. And we have flown it with 200 pounds of ballast or 200 pounds of humanity, that being more or less me. Going in here. nothing else outstanding about it. Oh, well, this is just the control panel for the electronic system, which is over here. So that's about it technically as far as the thing is concerned. It weighs 106 pounds as it sits. Anything else goes in the boxes or on the seat. So the object of this now is to fire it up, starting with the transmitter, going over to the 12-volt system here, turning that on, initiates the electronics only, not the electrical system, which is the relay and the speed controllers, but the electronics, which is the GPS, the flight controller, the two receiver modules here, and allows me to turn on, initiate the relays when the time comes. So I can tell by the color of the LED here that we were good to go. Now the relays are off, and all I have to do to disable the motors specifically, not the electronics, but the motors, is push this button that I've built on the back of my transmitter. You see that green light on the panel go off? That means the relays are open. No power to the motors. Lift my finger, power to the motors, and this is how I fly. The batteries are 2 6-packs, which I have serialized on plugs here so that I can plug in half of the battery pack without affecting the other half. And then when I plug in the second half, now we have 12 volts available to this relay, actually, or these relays. These plugs have resistors in them, right in here. They're indicated by this green marking on the plug. And what the resistor does is ground the enormous spark that happens when those batteries are plugged in. Anybody who flies 12C or even 6S battery packs in the aircraft can testify that when you put the power plugs on, you get an enormous spark. Here we go. Okay, what you have just witnessed is one small step for mankind and a giant step for Lyle. Thank you, one and all. SAP is retired. Thank you.